Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dota 2 Update for the week of May 23rd, 2011. And today we have three stories for you guys today. Our first story of the day, IceFrog confirms no Dota 2 at E3. Of course, we did speculate about this last week, and just happened that a day later, IceFrog did confirm officially on the Play Dota forums, and we're going to talk about what this means in a little bit. Our next story, Gamasutra did an interview with S2 Games CEO Mark DeForest. S2, of course, the makers of Heroes of Newerth. Definitely going to be in competition with Dota 2, and they're talking about a possible switch to a free-to-play business model, and that could spell trouble for the Dota 2 audience, possibly. And then going off of that, we're going to end today's Dota 2 update with an interview with a Dota Pro right now, Malek. I doubt I'm saying that right, but he is the captain of the MYM Dota team right now, and he talks about his thoughts on Dota 2 and even a little bit of Han. So that's going to wrap up our three stories for today, and let's jump right into them. So our first story of the day, last week we actually speculated here on Dota 2 Update that Valve and Dota 2 would not make an appearance at E3 because we didn't see them on their exhibitioners list, and it was getting way too close to the conference for them not to be on that list. And the next day, IceFrog does confirm that on the Play Dota forums, where he says that not Dota 2, but E3 is not the venue for Dota 2 just now. And now all the speculation is moving on to Comic-Con, which is in July 21st to the 24th. We're really hoping that Valve is going to make a move here and hype up Dota 2 a little bit, give us a little bit more information at least, because Han and LoL right now, they're ramping up their competitiveness preemptively for Dota 2. It's a preemptive strike to get more player base, and Valve has done nothing to hype up Dota 2 aside from announcing the existence of it. So come on, Valve, give us something here. It's good for your marketing, or else Han and LoL, they might be snatching a little bit more players away from Dota 2 than you would like. So please, let's see something soon. Alright, so our second story of the day kind of plays off the end of that first story. I said that Han was really getting competitive with the player base, and this interview done by Gamasutra, done with S2 Games CEO Mark DeForest. Of course, S2 is the makers of Heroes of Newerth. He says that Han is looking at the possibility of transitioning into a free-to-play model, and oh my gosh, that would do wonders for Han's player base. I mean, just recently they had their Han anniversary, and before that I remember playing on Han and there would be maybe 30,000 players average every single time I was playing. Now there's 40,000, and that's only 1 week free. That's not even, that's not even free basically. That's just an incentive to try the game for a week, and that got them 10,000 more players on average. So that was pretty nice. And if they go to a free-to-play model, that would get pretty competitive, I have to say, because Dota 2, I'm thinking, is going to be about $50. And yeah, hopefully, again, like I said, Valve steps up their game, because Han is definitely looking to hit Dota 2 hard before they are even born. So if you want to read more on that story, I will have the link to the full interview in the description below. Alright, so moving on to our third and last story of the day, readmore.de, which is like an esports kind of news site, did an interview a while back with MYM Dota team captain Malik. I believe that's how you say his ID. Anyways, he is head of probably one of the best teams in European Dota, and of course MYM is a huge name in esports, and he talks about his thoughts on Dota 2 right now. So let's touch on a little bit of that interview. Of course, full interview going to be in the descriptions below if you want to check that out. He says, he is asked, would you think the announcement of Dota 2 is helping the scene right now instead of putting all those games in some kind of waiting loop? And Malik says, I think it will cause sponsors to have Dota on their minds when looking into new ventures rather than putting all their efforts into Han or LoL the same way it did with StarCraft Brood War teams and players months before the release of StarCraft 2. He says that it is my personal wish that with Dota 2 the scenes are merged together and both LoL and Han will fade out. So he's of the mindset that Dota 2 is going to blow Han and LoL out of the water, it seems. And then when asked, do you and your whole team plan to switch over to Dota 2 completely once it is released? And with no hesitation, with no other word, he says absolutely. So it looks like Dota 2 is a definite target for these pro teams, which is going to be great for the scene. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up Dota 2 update for the week of May 23rd, 2011. And hopefully next week we're going to have some nicer, more juicy, more fresh news for you guys today, because I know this week was kind of a slow news cycle. However, what are you going to do? You know, when there's nothing out, you just got nothing to work with. So while we wait, I'm going to go play myself some Dota and Han, and I'll see you guys next time.